it's Jo here, founder of Freckles, and today I want to talk to you all about the glitter jar. Now, the glitter jar is something that I think is incredibly useful, and the reason I've chosen this week to talk about it is because it's Children's Mental Health Week, which is an initiative being run by Place to Be, which is a fantastic charity if you're experiencing or need some support around your mental or emotional health. Now, as most of you know, emotional and mental health is something that's really close to my heart personally, and runs through the core ethos of Freckles. We have developed a training programme, and as a result we have an emotional health course which we run with a fantastic Dr. Mary Han, and that's compulsory for all of our Kaya Nannies. The emotional health of our children is something that is so vulnerable at the moment, and that's nobody's fault, it's just the way it is. And we just need to have the tools and strategies to hand to support them. The glitter jar is absolutely by far my favourite activity and resource to have. It is so powerful and it's so visual that it can really help children understand why they're feeling the way they're feeling. Now, quite often when we have a child that's panicking or stressed or angry, we try and explain to them that they need to calm down, that how their emotions are going up and down, how it's making them feel, but that things will get better. Now, that's all well and good, but quite often a child can't comprehend what you mean by it will get better, or that time will pass, or whatever it might be. But if you use the glitter jar, it really powerfully illustrates and they can visually see what's happening. So it's a good analogy. To put together a glitter jar, it's very, very simple. I know you're going to say to me, you're saying jar, Jo, and I'm actually going to be using a bottle. Sorry for the confusion. Traditionally we used to use a jar, but it's quite that just can be a lot more cumbersome. So now we use a water bottle. We recommend using a plastic water bottle. That's what we use in training. Although I know that we are going to be adjusting a lot of things because we want to make sure the resources we use are much more eco-friendly and have less of an impact on the environment. But that currently, if we leave that just by the by as we work on it, and I will of course let you know what we decide to go for. We currently use plastic water bottles, as I said. You ideally want one with a non-break and seal. You can buy these off Amazon, but to be honest, I would quite happily get a water bottle that I've used in the car or something, and I would rinse it out and I would use that. Just make sure you screw the lid on really, really tight. So you need a water bottle. You then need 1 or 2 tubes or little tubs of glitter, which I'll show you in a second, that I use. Again, glitter, not very eco-friendly, not great for the environment. We are working on finding a really good substitute. Non-eco-friendly glitter is much more expensive, which is great, which is absolutely fine. It's just also finding stuff that's going to work and doesn't dissolve in water. That's a slight issue, which part of the eco-friendly glitter does do, which is fine. We're going to figure it out. So basically, that's all you need, and then you need some water. My water bottle here, as you can see, I filled it up to sort of, I guess, like an inch from the top. You want to be able to leave a gap because it's really important you can get some shaking in there. And then I've got my glitter, so I've got a tube of purple glitter, great, and I've actually got a tub of red as well. Now, my advice would be get a tube. Tubs are a nightmare, I end up putting it everywhere, but this is what I have in my box. Now, you can use 1 or 2, it doesn't really matter, and also the thing is, what the great thing about glitter jars is that once you've made one, you can just keep it forever. I mean, we've got all of ours and they're fantastic, and they don't wear out. So basically, what you're going to do is you're going to empty your tube or your tub into your water bottle and screw your lid on. That's going to take you to something that looks a bit like this, although you might end up with the glitter clumping at the top. So this is one that I've made before, I'm not going to make another one now, and you might end up with it clumping up here. Okay, screw your lid on really, really tight because we don't want any explosions, and then basically just give it a really good shake, and as you can see, the glitter is swirling around and around and around, and hopefully you can tell that as time passes, the glitter starts to settle and you start to be able to see a bit more clearly. So whereas before you couldn't see me through the bottle, you can now see me, and there's little bits of glitter there and they're going round and round and they're still there, and all the other worries and concerns and thoughts are still at the bottom. So what we want with children is we don't ever want them to feel undermined in the way they're feeling. So when a child has an emotion, we want to acknowledge it and say, I know you're feeling that way and that's okay. I just want to help. So the great thing about this is say they're worried about homework or friendships or mummy not being there, it's still there. It's just not all-consuming, and you can see through it. And when you can see through it, we can make a plan. So you can make a plan of how to address these things. But you can't make a plan with a child when this is how they're feeling. So my advice, I would definitely go and make it, and the kids can take it with them. Like, I put it in school bags, send it away on trips, anything where they might need it, and I just say, just shake it, just shake it. And we sometimes have them out on the desk at work, because when I get really like stressed and overwhelmed with what's going on, I do the same thing. It's the same principle. I'm overwhelmed, I don't know what I'm doing, I shake my glitter jar and I just wait, and I know that everything is still there, but I now have the ability to be able to see through it, and that it's settling, and that I can address things. So give it a go. Any questions, then let me know. I'll share obviously the resources and stuff, and when we find new better ones to use, great. But in the meantime, just get an old water bottle and some glitter that you probably have lying around, and use it. And once it's sealed, it's done. If you get a new one, the seal isn't broken, and so you won't have any problems, and the kids can just use them for ages. So that's everything from me this week. I will be back next week with another video on anything and everything to do with nannying, childcare and children.